Finding happiness. Once upon a time, in a remote village in England, lived a simple family. The head of the family, John Parker, was a hard-working and hospitable man who worked diligently to provide for his family. His son, Alex, was one of the most modest and simple people in the village. Alex often thought about his future, but these thoughts did not bring him happiness. He always dreamed of living in the city. He imagined himself living in tall buildings, walking the busy streets, and fulfilling his dreams. Alex felt that his life was dull and that happiness was somewhere far away from him. Everything in his life followed the same routine. Every day, he worked in the garden, collected fruits from the trees, tidied up the garden, but no matter how much he worked, he always felt empty inside. He dreamed of moving to the city to start a new life, to achieve greater things. But every time he thought about it, he realized he was still in his village. One day, while working in the garden and once again thinking about his future, Alex suddenly stopped. He felt the warm rays of the sun on his face and noticed the gentle breeze that carried the scent of freshness. In that moment, he had a deep realization: why don't I feel happiness? Alex looked at his life, at what surrounded him, and realized that happiness was hidden in simplicity. He suddenly realized that he had always been searching for something bigger, forgetting to appreciate what he already had right here in his village. He began to value every moment, to enjoy the smell of flowers, the sounds of nature, the warm breeze, and the bright stars in the night sky. He understood that happiness could be found not in searching for something distant, but in the small things that often went unnoticed. A week later, Alex discovered an old book, a forgotten legacy from his father. He opened it and saw the title, The Simple Life. Inside, he read lines that made a deep impression on him: to find happiness, you don't need something big. Happiness lives in small things: watching the sunrise, looking at blooming trees, breathing in the air, and talking to loved ones. These words had a strong effect on Alex. He realized that happiness did not lie in big achievements or changing his place of residence. Happiness was close by. It was in his simple, everyday life. From that moment on, he decided to begin appreciating every moment of his life. One day, his friend, David, who had always dreamed of moving to the city, approached Alex and said, "Alex, haven't you ever thought about living in the city? There are so many opportunities there. You could have a successful career, work in a big city, and achieve your dreams." Alex smiled and replied, "David, I understand your dreams, but I've come to realize that true opportunities and happiness aren't in the city. They are within us, in how we view our lives. I stopped dreaming about the city because I've learned to value the small moments of happiness that this simple life in the village gives me." We often look for happiness in big things, forgetting that it lies in the small things, in the moment we can experience right here and now. David thought for a moment and said, "You're right, Alex. I sometimes forget that happiness is not always in searching for something big. It's in the little things that we often overlook." Alex, continuing to work in his garden, immersed himself further in the understanding that his happiness was not in the future or distant dreams, but in what was right in front of him. He began to enjoy every day, every leaf on the tree, every new flower he saw. He learned to appreciate the moment and find joy in the simple things that once seemed ordinary. Soon, David also realized that to be happy, one didn't need to change their location or search for fame. He too began to appreciate the simple moments of life and started spending more time in nature, with family and friends. In the end, Alex and David both found harmony and fulfillment in their everyday tasks and relationships with others. They learned that happiness didn't lie in grand achievements or dreams, but in the simple pleasures and moments of life.